all on?
So we're gonna get it going. So right now, on the call for Black Men Speak Up, we have Brother Randon. Randon, introduce yourself. Who are you?
I'm Brandon. I do housing manager for Justice Peterson. Okay? I'm a family man, this little one right here, and I just have a passion for financial literacy and a passion for my people, and I want to see them excel.
Yep, we got to get through this craziness that's going on. Travis, what's up, brother? Who are you?
How y'all doing? This is my first time on the call. So, my name's Travis. I'm a father of two. One is currently in my arms right now. I'm an Air Force active duty member, soon to be veteran. Been married, going on 11 years, and I'm also an entrepreneur as well. So, just that financial independence and the financial freedom, and just learning more about how to be more independent in those minds and be able to pass something along to my kids is something that I'm more interested about as day by day. So, and I'm all about helping my people out too.
Yeah, and then my name is Roy Robinson. I've been a part of Black Men Speak Up for a minute. Tony wanted us to get together. Tony, my mentor, he'll introduce himself in a second. He was basically stating how this would be a good moment for the brothers to get together, just make sure there are no concerns, or see if there might be some things that we might be able to do to assist the ones that we're closest to. I know right now we have a crazy pandemic going, let's see,
Pandemic.
pandemic. There we go. Pandemic going on across the nation, and it is traumatizing many and making many individuals go through a lot of uncomfortable, uncomfortable, like tragic things that they have been used to. People are being laid off. People are doing a lot of stuff. So this is what Black Men Speak Up was created for, and we're going to talk about that today. Brother Neil, who are you?
Tony Neal here, run an education consulting company on the school board of Normandy School District. One of the founders of Black Men Speak Up. And, while everybody is in fear, I feel like Black men have been in crisis for a long time. So this isn't anything new to us. It's another way to think about surviving in the world.
I agree. So first question I wanted to put this out there. Out of the brothers, what are you guys hearing? There's been, we in St. Louis, Missouri, been locked down. I know, Travis, I'm gonna come to you first. You are in Texas. How is your state? How is your local area? Tell me something that's going on as far as this COVID-19 coronavirus.
Well, for those who may not know, the main base, Lackland Air Force Base, ever since the COVID-19 coronavirus has come to the States, there's a section on that base that has been served as a quarantine section. So a lot of folks who have been coming overseas, whether it be cruise ships, flights, whatever, have been housed over there for quarantine since probably in March last month. So now, as more confirmed cases of the coronavirus have been made aware of, the health concerns and the force protection levels have been on a heightened scale. So just got word that the word that I'm hearing in some cities in the state, and even some other states have already engaged their National Guard, and a lot of people are on the lookout for martial law, which I don't think that will necessarily happen, but there's been some rumblings that the president is going to announce a nationwide lockdown for 2 weeks just to get this more contained and to get people to take it more seriously.
Let's speak to that martial law. Randon, what do you think about that? I saw some things where they're talking about passing in a law where they might take constitutional rights away. Basically, you get arrested, you don't have to go see a judge. What's your thoughts on that, Randon? What you got?
Well, I do see it being possible. I mean, when you roll back to Adolf Hitler, um, is very well possible. I don't think that that's the direction that we're headed, but
I hope not.
I don't know. I don't dismiss people's feelings around it because I mean it's perfectly normal. It happened, you know. We saw that in Germany, so um, I think we should just stay woke, and this should just be a lesson to us that our vote does count because
I don't even want
whoever.
to. I agree. I agree with you so much with the voting part, but I think this is a wake up call, and it's almost like how do we prioritize where we need to be as a culture? And I think we just had somebody else join the call. Brother, go ahead and join. Introduce yourself, man. I asked who joined us. I see yourself on here, brother. Yourself.
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
Yeah, I'm Yusuf Goggin. I don't know what else other than to say.
We just saying, hey, who we are. If you've been a part of Black Men Speak Up, you can say, hey, I've been to a couple of meetings and I'm a brother who's looking to help. Whatever you want to say.
Yeah, no, Yusuf Goggin, first time on the call. Have viewed a few of the posts from time to time, but hadn't been heavily involved. I'm certainly active on a lot of other social service levels, but would certainly be happy to help in whatever way I can.
Appreciate that. I appreciate that. So what we were talking about, we were trying to basically lay down some thought process around what's actually going on and how it affects our community. There is a lot happening right now. Everyone's kind of day by day. There's things changing drastically. I mean, there's a whole bunch of a lot of news out there, but I think as far as the brothers in our community, we definitely have to stand up and be in a position where we can make good leadership decisions as well as be protectors of our community, considering this tragedy that we got going on right now. So I see another brother has joined. Go ahead, brother. Introduce yourself.
It's Greg, man. Greg Carr. What's happening, everybody? What's going on?
What's up, my friend?
It's all good.
All right. So Tony, you got anything that you want to throw out? I got some questions for other individuals, but Tony, you can go ahead and chime in if need be.
I just want to welcome Yusuf to the group. He's a great brother, and glad to have you a part. And welcome the other brother. Yeah, there's a lot that I could throw out, man, but I'll let you go ahead and answer ask your other questions.
So first one, if you guys, we can go multiple levels with this. The first thing I want to kind of throw out is let's talk about protection and what we can do as a community to spread the word as far as controlling or reducing the actual virus, as well as what we should be doing to communicate to our brothers to help each other out. So anyone have any ideas or anything they've been thinking about as far as communicating, getting things out, helping the community, any thoughts that they've been thinking about? Because things have changed dramatically.
Yeah.
Well, I would say when you go out, just make sure that you have some sort of mask on and gloves, and making sure you're putting alcohol in, and just going through the precautions. Because I think just this afternoon they said that Rand Paul tested positive. So that means if he's positive and he went to the gym this morning, a bunch of other senators probably are infected now. So that's going to probably wipe out half of the Senate.
Wow.
So, and also I think there are a lot of videos and sharing information. If people are sharing misinformation, stop them immediately and correct them. because I think a part of that sharing of misinformation is bringing about some mass hysteria. And I don't think people are malicious about it. I just think they're ignorant. And so if you know somebody hasn't vetted something and it sounds strange, that's why I tell people all the time is make sure you Google it first or go to Snopes, because in this misinformation age, that could cause a lot of hysteria. So I would say definitely, and washing your hands, doing all the things that you're told to do, the basics. And because I was just in Walmart on Thursday, and I was in the bathroom the same time this guy, and I guess he was in such a hurry to get groceries, he ran right out of the bathroom, didn't wash his hands, and everybody in the bathroom just said, "Oh my God, that's how we're gonna die, like that."
It's crazy.
Because he didn't just do basic washing of hands.
Right. Any other ideas as far as what they've been thinking about, considering now we have to work from home, communicating? I got some things I want to throw out, but I'm gonna save mine for last. Anybody else got any thoughts about what would be good suggestions for the brothers? Because this is a recorded call, brothers will be able to view this later and take that information.
I would say, in the same breath of sanitation, when you're using these carts, whether it's a station that where either Walmart or your local grocery store has, where you can pull a wipe down and wipe the carts down, carry like a small thing of Lysol wipes with you, wipe that down. Yeah, I mean, it's just taking heed to the free precautionary measures that's been traveled through social media and through the media in general. Like we feel like we really need to take this as serious as we need to, and it's not just going along with the narrative. Like I know when it first started, and some people still believe this, that black people can't get this. Black people can't get this. This is or only people above a certain age are getting it. No, like some of these athletes, some of these young minority athletes are getting them too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not just somebody that's prone to being sick. It's not just somebody who's 50 and up or 60 and up. Like I read somewhere where it was like 20% of the coronavirus deaths have been between the ages of 20 and 50. Mm-hmm. So we have to be more mindful. We have to be more cognizant of that, of just being careful and just being mindful of anything and everything around you, and not having your kids out if they don't need to be out as well.
What I want to charge people with, one of the ideas I have is let's do check-in. So like right now we got a check-in for Black Men Speak Up. But if everyone tries their best to check in with an older family member, for sure, individuals who might be higher at risk, let's just start saying, okay, I'm gonna do a check-in, whether it's every 2 weeks, whatever, once a week. And it might be, my neighbor, it might be a family member, but I charge each one of you brothers to start doing check-ins and how you might be able to communicate and just make sure that the person you care about might be okay. I think that might be critical for where we're at right now. Anybody else want to kind of throw some other things in as well?
One of the suggestions that I proposed in my church today is that we do like weekly debrief sessions around the COVID, just to get thoughts out, just to get feelings out, especially for anybody that's a small business owner right now, because I know they're taking a hit big time. And this is gonna, that emotional process through this, it's gonna stick people. We don't know how long they're gonna be. We don't know how long they're gonna be before they can, go back to normalcy. So,
right.
Just regular debrief sessions, wherever you can have them, at work or with church, with family, just making sure you're talking about them and getting the emotions off your chest.
Another problem that I'm seeing, and this goes to my next questions for the brothers, I'm seeing problems evolve daily. So number one is let's just say you have young children like myself. Working from home has been challenging with that. Or there might be the thing of being organized if you have older children who may be in junior high and high school, and these teachers may have sent homework home. Some people are maybe lucky and they may be in spring break now, but if we get to the point where this is a long drawn out thing and you have to start being organized to say, okay, I got to get breakfast for my kids, try to make sure they're getting their work done, get lunch for the kids, try to get some work done myself, all the above. I think that's the newest challenge and how this might drastically change how business is done. I think that should be something to be thought of. How how we did business last week might be completely different how we do business after this COVID-19 is over with. Does that make sense a little bit?
Yes. Yes.
Any thoughts on that from the brothers?
I would say also just don't be afraid of technology. I think that's been a huge issue with, because I teach at Harris Stowe, and some of our faculty aren't ready for online teaching, or they're not used to remote technology. I would say don't be afraid. If you don't know something, talk to somebody who does know so you can get familiar. And like Roy said, looks like this is going to be happening for a while. So we might as well get used to it. And not only just learn it, but master it and be prepared to teach other people, because this is how we're going to be communicating until we get the green light for it to be over. So I'll say, check all that technology out, look at YouTube videos, and just get knowledgeable about how to use this technology to the best of your ability.
Does anyone have any fears?
As far as what?
Yeah, and in terms of what?
So I've been watching this for a while. I've talked to friends about it. Some of the things that I think about, which is possible. If the shutdown is legitimate, there is multiple things that come in the way, and this is just basic things. So I roughly feel like we're 2 months behind. They announced, now this has been going on since 2019. That's where the 19, I believe, came from. They say it's a 19 strand, I heard too, but I don't know. Long story short, I heard this has been going on since November, December of 19. China's been affected. Wuhan got shut down January 20th. So that's when they said Asia shut down. Hey, we need to stop. We need to get control of this. It's getting out of hand. People are dying, blah, blah, blah. We just shut down for real March 20th. That's 2 months later. So if you do the math on this, they are predicting that the effects will be like this big trickle down if we don't get a hold of it. So whether it's trucks and logistics traveling, bringing food, toilet paper and all that stuff to different places, whether it's, hey, we need to completely shut things down and we are overbeared, whether it's our infrastructure, our connectivity with the internet, whether it's our electricity, whether it's like our gas, things can literally be shut down for real, and we could be in a situation where it's havoc. It's possible. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but it's something that if we are to think about this in the worst case scenario, are we prepared? Does anyone have any fears?
Well, I think you make a good point. This is Yusef. That certainly a number of things could get out of hand. Certainly, there have been some reports of increased domestic violence in various households. Folks are feeling stress. Certainly, income is being lost by some in the immediate term. And given how this is impacted, will likely lead to more significant layoffs in the medium to long term.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my big pushback to that likelihood is that most of what we do on a day-to-day basis is a function of confidence. We go out and we do a variety of things on a daily basis based on our confidence in the economy, our confidence in our ability to move forward. And so there are a lot of things that we just take for granted. And I think the way that we're able to do that is because we are educated to the best degree possible about what is actually before us. And I think that's something the nation is really striving for now. And so certainly we are not getting that at the federal level. Local politics is really fragmented, and some work is being done to communicate better in that regard. But that has always been a struggle when it comes to connecting with the Black community, because many in the political world take us for granted. And certainly we are underserved in a lot of ways. And so I think one of the biggest things that we can do is be a level-headed, educated party for our circle, so that people know that there will be a tomorrow. Certainly, I'm a physician by trade, and so I think about these things all the time. My sister is concerned; she's a physician in New York, and they don't have enough masks for even anesthesiologists who are doing your day-to-day intubations of patients who are struggling with this. So certainly, there are a lot of risks involved, and I applaud those who are on the front lines in any
Hello?
way, form, or fashion. But it's not.
Hello?
Hello,
Hello?
hello.
I'm here.
Do we have people that's trying to join or are confused? Keep going, brother Yusef.
Oh, I'm sorry. But yeah, I would just say educating oneself, trying to just take stock of what is before us and not getting um, too bent out of shape, not getting hysterical about the situation, because that will ultimately drive us to a self-fulfilling prophecy of a negativity. And so I just say try to keep a level head, try to be educated about things, try to be thoughtful about the things that we're engaged in, and try to be supportive of to your family and to your neighbors.
Yeah.
That's very powerful, brother Neil. You got something?
Well, yeah, I guess I was actually I've been thinking about my travels around the world, and certainly Randon can speak to our recent trip where we were in Rwanda and the Congo. And I think about the lack of resources that are in those spaces and how those individuals pull together to survive or to make do with the few or little resources that they have. And so when I keep things in perspective, I think I know that we're going to be able to get through this. I think one thing that is very important is that and much of it has been said already, is that we support one another in these times. This world, this country is kind of divided right now, and especially being in the political season right now, it's really divided. But I don't think we have time to focus on the division. We have to focus on what we can do to support one another and to help one another and to move this country forward right now. And I'm hopeful that we are able to do that through many entities, through the church coming together, through law enforcement, the justice system coming together, communities and neighborhoods coming together across race and across many of the other identities that seem to divide us. I think that's really key at this point. I also want to speak to the fear. You had mentioned earlier the fear. I think for me, there's a low level of fear because I seem to almost walk in fear every day as a Black man. So it's kind of become a part of my DNA. And that's not a good thing. That's an unhealthy thing, I know. But I also have a son down in Texas who's 32. And I worry about him often, all the time, because he shares with me things that have happened to him, being stopped by cops and being harassed by police officers, etc. So there's that fear there. So the level of fear is there, but it's not as high as I see in other individuals that I'm among in various spaces and places as I walk out in the world. The other thing I like to say is around education. I think it would be devastating if we come out of this and the education system is exactly as it is now, because I think it's broken, it's dysfunctional, and we need to dismantle it. And I think this is an ample opportunity for us to re-engage or rethink about the way we engage parents, rethink the way students learn, rethink the way the CAN curriculum is set in some schools and in some spaces. I think all of that is a way of thinking about coming out of this with a better way to think about school for our young kids, our young scholars.
Real quick, I have a question. Where about is your son?
He's at Prairie View A&M. He's in the graduate school there in Prairie View.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was trying to see how far he was from there.
And I'm originally from Bryan, Texas, down where Texas A&M University is located.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And to add on to what Brother Neil was saying is this digital divide is really showing itself, because I have quite a few students that we're actually supposed to go online tomorrow for Harris Stowe, but I've sent emails a week and a half, almost 2 weeks ago, and some still haven't responded. And the ones that have responded have simply said, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it because I don't have Wi-Fi. I don't have connectivity. Or some of them have even said that I don't have a personal laptop. I'm going to do the best I can on my phone. So like Brother Neil was saying, I think it's really exposed the weaknesses of the education system, and we really need to rethink it. And I think it's to our shame if we don't step in and demand that change right now, because its dysfunctionality is on display. And the only way that we're going to get through this is through innovation, for us to be having conversations like this and to empower each other. And this is the perfect time to say, you know something, we can't go back to business as usual, because now you see what kind of dysfunction this leads to.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
What I want to do, I want to do this meeting every 2 weeks at the minimum. If it gets to the point where we need to have a discussion weekly, I don't mind it. But on basically bi-monthly, I think we need to be on the same page, moving and pushing the needle forward. I think it'll be a while before things just drastically change overnight and get back to status quo. And I think we're going to have additional things and additional topics to add on. I want to keep these discussions short because I plan to share this information for brothers to be able to take this, watch it in a short amount of time, and grab these nuggets that we provide them. So with that being said, the goal is to have these meetings every 2 weeks. We're going to have discussions regarding topics that we feel are relevant. I give you guys the last 1 minute. I give you 30 seconds each. If you got another 30-second nugget, we can get it off our chest. 30 seconds, you can go ahead, starting with you, Randy. 30 seconds if you got something.
I think it's important too that, I mean, no matter what your beliefs are, that you are feeding yourself spiritually, because that is one of the biggest tools that will get you through times like this.
Awesome. Awesome.
Just knowing where your place is and who you are and whatever God you serve, you know.
Well, that is we appreciate that's a good nugget, man. I appreciate it. Brother Clark, you got anything, Greg?
Yeah, I would just say, resources. Find those resources and share those resources, because there are a lot of, and just kind of come back on that whole thing about fear. I don't have fear, but I'm very concerned, because I think if I start to fear, that leads to worry. So I'm concerned about what's going on, but I think we can overcome that concern if we find the resources and learn to share those resources with whoever needs.
Brother Travis, you got anything?
Yeah. So if you're not used to, if you're like me, you're not used to working from home, or the potential of working from home, just be there for your spouses, because they may. This is really affecting them as well. If they're stay at home and they're used to just dealing with one child, and now the second or third child is home from school. That's an extra quote unquote headache for them. So if you find yourself at home during this time working or whatever the case may be, just try to be a little more available to help ease that burden as well.
Brother Youssef, you got something?
No, I probably said a mouthful a little bit earlier.
No, that was good. Keep it up.
Yeah,
That was good. Brother Tony, you got anything?
Yeah, just keep in mind, fear is face everything and run or face everything and rise. And so what are we going to do? And then I also want to invite all of you to invite the other brothers back. You know, we've been doing this for like 17 years. We usually meet here in my living room, and we've have as many as 40 brothers here. And unfortunately, we can't come together right now and physically, but we can spiritually, and we can through these calls. So reach out to the brothers that we haven't heard from and get them on the call.
That's awesome, brothers. I appreciate each and every one of you. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Black men, speak up. We are out, and we're gonna keep this going. All right, love you, brothers. Keep it good. Keep it going.
Be
Love
strong,
you too,
brother.
man.
Yes,
Take
I
care.
love you too. Love